Hey, just a heads up, this is my first time recording my voice. I recently just found a book from my limited edition Halo Reach from back in the day 360, so I thought I'd dig it out and attempt a little reading thing. Please make sure to leave harsh criticism in the comments because I'm a fucking idiot and I thought I'd try this. Thank you. See you later. August 8th, 2510. Can't concentrate today. Haven't been able to for weeks. New ideas, recent insurgent reports, ubiquitous eye of only watching me. How can I not be distracted? Setting up the new lab has consumed the last few months. I have doubts. I keep wondering whether this is the best course. How did I become involved in this? Carver's report on the colony surely led me here. That scarcely begins to tell the story, which I clarify my thoughts later when I get the chance. I found this journal in a quaint local shop, good cup of coffee as well. On my last trip from the main base, writing does help to get it on paper, out of my head. I need a place to record my personal thoughts and the most sensitive research notes as I undertake this project, which I've simultaneously desired, been inspired by, and dreaded. Reach is the sum of all those things. So it seems fitting that this journal begins here. Am I being a bit sentimental? Yes. Pragmatic? Absolutely. Despite my artificial intelligence enhanced data recording the storage systems, I learned long ago that anything stored electronically can be retrieved electronically. I have no illusions that some within this organisation wouldn't hesitate to employ against me the very intrusion algorithms I helped devise if it suited their self-interests. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. And I will. And so I begin to learn whether humanity can be saved from itself and the role I will play in its uncertain destiny. December 4th, 2510. I sit in my new yet unstaffed laboratory, the racks of AI matrices and optical routers sealed in their crates. My doubts have returned, perhaps some reflection on my original motivations for coming here will help. It started 3 years ago when I met the acclaimed Dr. Carver, still the darling of CMA. At one of those academic social mixes where everyone is charming and trying to impress project benefactors, even as a doe-eyed doctoral candidate I detested these affairs. So when I heard Carver describing the matrix mechanics of socio and politico-economic vectors of human expansion, I couldn't resist correcting him. I outlined the corrective matrix calculation, revising the dimensional parameters in my head. He used 7 when he needed 16. Carver, who had been coasting on a lecture circuit after his initial publication, didn't appreciate the truth, especially from a young upstart. The Vice Admiral, then a captain, however took note. If I had known Carver would commit suicide 2 years later, I may have been more charitable in my presentation. Carver blamed himself for the very carnage he had predicted. A lesson for all scientists resides therein. 3 weeks after that party, my grant proposal for artificial intelligence control for n-dimensional matrices was greenlit by the UNSC, contingent on the successful testing of a model of their choosing. Naturally, it was Carver. I knew his flawed model would produce flawed results. To avoid having this effect poly on my technique, I ran my correct 16-dimensional variant as a control in addition to his 7-dimensional version. Carver's model predicted a breakdown of social order in the outer colonies within 20 years while a strict governmental control was established, reinforced by an immediate and permanent military presence. The resultant vector was correct, but not the magnitude. I ran more than 1400 simulations varying in every parameter, and in the best case scenario the outer colonies would rebel, and rebel soon. With FTL capable transports, any colony could convert such vehicles into weapons of mass destruction. Minimum effect was 30 years of war and 5 billion dead. The maximum effect was unbounded, interminable war, another dark age for humanity. I took my results to the Vice Admiral, but the UNSC already knew. They had come to a similar conclusion, a slightly gratifying tidbit given that it had taken them 3 years of intensive research. Then why make me do the same calculation? The Office of Naval Intelligence had apparently had their eye on me for years and knew that the only way to convince me to join them was to get me to convince me. It worked. I joined. How many lives must be spent to save all of humanity? Is there any price too high to pay? This may be our only solution. Now, back to work.